ولا قوة إلا بالله حكانا الله وإياه. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. أما بعد. This is the 26th of February 2021. It's Friday night. Let's say later to Sept, the night before Saturday. Just Friday night, and it's the 15th of Shawwal, Al-Arabiyya, Ibn wa now. And this is I believe the sixth night, the fifth of Imam Muqbil rahimahullah ta'ala, where we deal with some masail and some fatawa from the Shaikh. Wa nasal Allah yarhamuhu Islam and Muslim. Tonight we're taking from Kitab al-Siyam, the book of fasting from the Fatawa of the Shaikh. And we'll take maybe like 4 or 5 different masail, inshallah ta'ala, since we're dealing with fasting in Ramadan. Sha'ban is coming, and we're in Rajab. And we mentioned today in the khutbah, so many hadith. Wallahi, Ibn Rajab, not Ibn Rajab, and Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani, he wrote a book, Tibyan Ajaba Warada fi Fadli Rajab. And they just brought like 35, maybe different narrations, of the common narrations about the virtues of Rajab, and 90% of what they mentioned and what they brought is wada'i kadab ala nabi sallallahu. So these issues have to be discussed, because as you know, the Prophet sallallahu, if he legislates something, then it's from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if the Prophet ﷺ does not legislate, then that means it's not from the religion. So these issues, believe it or not, they're very important, and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for his help. I mean, the first question that I want to mention tonight from the Shaykh is about the Shaykh was asked, is there هل في شيء مخصوص من العبادات في شهر رجب? Is there any particular special worship in the month of Rajab? The Shaykh said no. The Shaykh said no. The only virtue we know of Rajab is that it is from Ashur Mada al-Huram, al-Ashur Mada al-Huram, that it is a sacred month. And we have 4 of them we mentioned in the khutbah, the Qada, after Shawaal, and the Hijjah, Hajj month. Then some people say Muharram, but it's Al-Muharram. The Prophet mentioned with Alif Lam. And then you have what we're in now, Rajab. So you see the Qada, the Hijjah, and Muharram, they're back to back. Amma Rajab huwa munfaridan, it's by itself alone. And so these are the 4 sacred months that Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala mentioned in Iddat al-Shuhura inda Allah, Iddat al-Ashrin Shahran fi Kitabi, Yawma khalaqa samawati wal-ard, Minhum Arba'at Ashhur. Now, and Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala mentioned the 12 months when He created the heavens and the earth. He prescribed 12 months, and 4 of them are sacred. And Allah said, وَلَا تُظْلِمُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ فِيهِنَّ, and do not do wrong to yourself in those sacred months. And the scholar said that, therefore, bad deeds are magnified, and the bad things that you do are bad, but they are magnified in the sacred months more than the regular about the 15th of Sha'ban. Is it narrated that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam he would pray on the 15th of Sha'ban, and then the previous morning he would fast the 15th. And they asked the Shaikh, they said, because they heard some ulama from Al-Azhar mention that in the 15th night of Sha'ban, Prophet left Hujrat al-Aisha. He left Aisha's house and he went to the masjid. And Aisha asked him, why are you leaving the house? He said, I'm going to pray this night and I'm going to fast tomorrow. Shaykh al-Muqbil rahimahullah ta'ala said, لا ثبت عن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم على أنه كان يصلي في ليلة النصف شعبان ولا ثبت عنه أنه كان يصوم نصف شعبان يعني في النهار. It's not narrated from the Prophet ﷺ that he neither prayed the 15th night, particular prayer, nor did he fast the 15th day. But we see this is a custom the people they do with regards to that, and the Shaikh mentioned there's no authentic narration. Many of the ulama have discussed it as well. The Shaikh was asked, Shaykh Muqbil rahimahullah ta'ala, ماذا هل يجوز التقديم ستة من الشوال قبل قضاء رمضان? Is it permissible to do your 6 days of Shawwal? Is it permissible to fast 6 days of Shawwal before you make up your days of Ramadan? The Shaikh answered, rahimahullah ta'ala, he said, if a person can make up his days of Ramadan and fast the 6 days of Shawwal, he said, فَهَذَا فِعْلٌ حَسَنٌ. He said, then this is a good thing. This is, okay to do. He said, but if a person is not able to do the Sitta Shawwal or Qadar Ramadan, he said, then it is permissible for that person to do his 6 days of Shawwal. It is permissible to do his 6 days of Shawwal and then do his taqdeem, do his Qadar Ramadan, at another time. And he said the reason we say this is because Aisha radiyallahu ta'ala anha, she said she did not make up her days from the previous year of Ramadan until Sha'ban. Being busy with the Prophet ﷺ and different obligations and the menses, she did not have enough time to do all of that in one single month, which is Shawwal. But the Shaikh said, and do you think like any of the Sahaba, such as Aisha and those people that were vigorous to practice the Prophet's way, and those people that became ulama, do you think they would have left off something like the 6 days of Shawwal? He said, and the Prophet mentioned, whoever fasts Ramadan ثم تتابع ستة من الشوال كأنه صام كأنه ماذا كأنه صام الله جزاكم الله خير, as if he gets credit as if he fasts the whole entire year. So of course, as long as that person makes up the days before the next coming Ramadan, and he has or she has 6 days of Shawwal, then it is in line with the hadith. But however, the Shaikh said it is better if you can do them both, then fine. But if not, then do the 6th of Shawwal and then make up your days of Ramadan. He said because the qada of Ramadan is awsat. You have more time. Amma sitta Shawwal, ما بقي إلا في Shawwal. You can only do it in the remaining days of Shawwal, and this is the fatwa of Shaykh al-Muqbil rahimahullah ta'ala. The Shaykh was also asked, barakallahu fikum, about the people who call the adhan. Those who call the adhan in Ramadan before the time. Those who call the adhan in Ramadan before the time, meaning at the time of Fajr. And they said because the people, hum ta'abaniyin, they're tired, they're worn out. So let's, call the adhan a little early pray and then the people could rest. Because sometimes the people are up almost all night without any rest or very much in Ramadan. So Shaykh, he said, قل لهم اتق الله تبارك وتعالى. Tell them to fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that if a person calls the adhan before it's time, people pray before it's time, then they don't have a salah. فَصَلَاتُهُمْ لَيْسَ صَحِيحٌ بَاطِلٌ. That their salah is not good, it's nullified. He said, as it relates to praying late, then you have a salah. You have a salah when you pray late, meaning you make the salah up. But praying too early, you have no salah. He said, so those people should be advised to fear Allah Ta'ala. You could not pray before the time, even if it's because the people are tired now. And then the last thing we'll take tonight, the Shaykh was asked, Rahimahullah Ta'ala, now. The last one, the Shaykh was asked, what is the meaning of the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu أفضل الصيام بعد رمضان شهر الله المحرم. The Shaykh said the meaning of this hadith is that a person, if you fast outside of Ramadan, there's no other month virtuous after Ramadan for fasting than al-Muharram. He said, and if a person fasts some of it, it's okay. Because some scholars, they said, you must fast the whole month of Muharram if you fast, because the Prophet said al-Muharram, meaning that the alif lam fil al-umum. But Shaykh Muqbil, he said no. You can fast Ithnain, Khamis, Monday and Thursday. Ayyam al-Bayd, when the moon is full, 3 days back to back. He said you can fast one day, skip a day, fast on Dawood, or you can fast all of the month if you like, because it's not restricted. He said, but the thing is that the Prophet is mentioning this as it relates to al-Muharram, and does not slight from the issue of Sha'ban, as Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha, she said that the Prophet did not fast outside of Ramadan in any other month more than he fasted in Sha'ban. And some scholars, they said that that one is sunnah fi'liya, that's a sunnah by action, while the statement about al-Muharram is sunnah qawliya. One is action, one is statement of the Prophet. So the Shaykh, he said that hadith, of course it's sahih, so the meaning is any fast that you do in that month, as opposed to just fasting the whole month in totality, then it falls in that category of being from the best fast after Ramadan, and that it does not take away from fasting in the month of Sha'ban. He said also that some of the ulama, they said the reason the Prophet would fast like this in Sha'ban, and Aisha, she said, كان النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يصوم شعبان كله. In other words, she said إلا قليل. He will fast all of Ramadan, Sha'ban, or he will fast all of it except a little bit. Some scholars, they said, in conclusion, the reason he would fast like that in Sha'ban was because he wanted to make up the 3 days in every month that he would normally fast, that he didn't get a chance to do throughout the year. And along with best of that, yani, is accurate. However, yani, the Sheikh you mentioned the meaning of fasting in the month of Al-Muharram, where the Prophet mentioned that the best fast after Ramadan is in the month of Al-Muharram, that it includes all types of fasts in that month and not restricted to just fasting the whole month. هذا وصلى الله وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. جزاكم الله
جزاك
خيرا
الله خير يا شيخ.
والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Finish.